What if Lila isn't fake in the way we usually mean it? Not just lying, not just acting, but artificial. Like, literally artificial. Because the more you sit with it, the harder it gets to unsee. There's something off about her, and not in a normal villain way. More like she's built, not raised. And yeah, that sounds wild at first, but stay with me for a second. This theory has been floating around for a while now, and every season it gets a little harder to laugh off. The idea is simple and terrifying at the same time. Lila Rossi might not be human at all. She might be some kind of artificial intelligence. A robot, or something very close to it, created by Tomoe Tsurugi. And once you start connecting the dots, things get uncomfortable fast. Think about Lila's identities. Not just aliases, but full lives. Lila Rossi, Cerise, Iris. Different backstories, different behaviors, different social patterns. And none of them ever fully check out. People try to expose her, and somehow the truth just slides away. It's not just lying. It's like she's switching modes, adapting, recalibrating, almost like a system updating its parameters. And then there's her behavior. Lila doesn't grow. She doesn't reflect. She doesn't spiral emotionally the way other characters do. No real guilt. No genuine remorse. Even when she loses, she just resets and tries again with a new approach. That's not how Miraculous usually writes human emotion. That's how programs behave when something fails. And then there's that moment that made a lot of people stop and go, wait, hold on. After the Jikai Guzan episode aired, someone asked Thomas Astruc about Tomoe and Lila. His response wasn't a paragraph. It wasn't an explanation. It was a gif. Gendo Rei. Evangelion. And if you know Evangelion, that's not a random choice. Gendo creates Rei from his dead wife's DNA. Rei isn't just a clone, she's a manufactured being. A vessel. A tool. A daughter. But not in the normal sense. So when Astruc drops that reference in response to a Tomoe and Lila question, it doesn't feel accidental. It feels like a wink. Or a warning. Because Tomoe isn't just some rich parent in this story. She's one of the most advanced technologists in the Miraculous world. The Alliance rings alone are proof of that. Devices that can interact with kwamis, channel power, bridge the physical and the metaphysical. That's not basic sci-fi tech. That's next level. And if someone in this universe could build an android that looks human, thinks it's human, and functions flawlessly in society, it would be her. Especially someone like Lila, who operates without emotional interference. Cold, efficient, goal-oriented, almost algorithmic. And then there's the line that split the fandom in half. Tomoe calling Lila my daughter. Not Kagami. Lila. Something Kagami herself didn't even seem fully aware of. And that secrecy matters. If Lila was simply adopted, why hide it like that? Why frame it so strangely? It almost sounds less like a family reveal and more like a creator acknowledging her project. And if Lila wasn't born, but made, that line suddenly makes a lot more sense. Tomoe has always wanted control. Order. A world shaped to her logic. She's shown resentment, especially toward men, toward chaos, toward weakness. Creating the perfect child, one who follows instructions, one who executes plans without hesitation or emotional noise, fits her psychology a little too well. And Lila fits that role perfectly. She never panics. She never lashes out irrationally. She manipulates with precision, reads people, predicts outcomes, adjusts. And Miraculous has already opened the door to artificial beings before. This is a new territory for the universe. We've seen advanced AI. We've seen synthetic life. We've seen characters who blur that line. So the idea that Lila could be one of those, just far more advanced, isn't actually that far-fetched. If this theory is real, it also explains where her story could be heading. Because an artificial being built for control eventually runs into one unavoidable problem. Collapse. A glitch. A moment where the system questions itself. Imagine Marinette or Adrian discovering the truth. Not just that Lila's lying, but that she was never human to begin with. What does that do to her? Does she break down? Does she reject her programming? Or does she double down and become something even more dangerous because she believes she has no choice? It could even explain why she steps into Monarch's role so seamlessly. Maybe she's not driven by desire. Maybe she's executing a directive. And if that's the case, then the final confrontation with Lila wouldn't just be about stopping a villain. It would be about confronting a creation that was never meant to choose. So what do you think? Is Lila a real person with real emotions buried deep down? Or is she Tomoe Tsurugi's most dangerous invention? Because if this theory turns out to be true, it's one of those moments where you'll look back and go, yeah, they were telling us the whole time. If you want to be able to say you heard it here first, you know the drill. Stick around. Drop a like if this one got your brain spinning. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you feel like supporting the channel a bit extra, the YouTube Hype feature is right there. Because if Miraculous pulls something like this, it's going to change everything.